And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Eye for an Eye is one of those new small box games from MJ Games, distributed by Asmodee, and it has one of those ridiculous themes pasted on it. It's the Druids and the Ovates, and the Druids are trying to hypnotize the Ovates, and the Ovates are trying to unmask the Druids, and so, yeah, and then it kind of throws in a dash of, what do you call that, dare, or making someone do a stupid thing, truth or consequences type style. The game, though, is nothing new. I played this game years and years ago. We called it drug dealing, but the game was basically where you get a group of people around a table and one person has to wink at someone else without anyone else noticing. It's actually a pretty fun game, although it doesn't work in every situation, also known as half the situations I've used it in. But it still does work in some situations and can be fun. Don't know what I'm talking about? Let's look at the game. Eye for Eye is ambitious. It includes enough cards so that for 21 different players. Depending on how many players are involved in the game, you're going to hand out a certain amount of Ovate cards and one or more Druids. There's only 3. So let's say, for example, we're playing a 6-player game. So you'd have 1 Druid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ovates. You shuffle these cards up nice and good, hand one out to everybody, and that is your secret role. You're either a Druid or an Ovate. Now, it's the Druid's job to hypnotize other players, and he does that by winking at them. So he simply looks at another player and winks at that player. If a player has someone else wink at them, they have to announce to everybody that they are hypnotized. They have to wait 5 seconds and then say, okay, I'm hypnotized, and they're out of the game. Now, everyone else is trying to figure out who's hypnotizing everyone. If the Druid manages to hypnotize everyone, they win the game. But usually the game is not going to end by that. Usually the game is going to end by one person accusing another person. And they say, I know you're a Druid. That person then turns their card over. No, I'm not a Druid. Alright, well you just lost the game. If they are a Druid, well then the Druid has lost the game. And so, anyone can do that anytime they want. Once you've lost the game turns to phase 2. Now this is kind of where this game gets a little odd. The loser has to turn over one of these cards and do whatever it says. It says the other players must invent a test of gallantry for you. This test must not be violent, painful, dangerous, disgusting, or excessively humiliating. So I suppose it could be a little bit humiliating. Or it says, answer the following question honestly. What do you look at first in a guy or a girl? If you never look at girls or boys, take the next card. Alright. The other players must have been a don't be shy test for you. Or here, tell a funny story lasting 1 to 3 minutes. You say, well, that's not so bad. Yeah, well, the game comes with some starred cards, and you can play with these. Here, imitate your partner or companion for 15 to 30 seconds. Or this one here, do a belly dance for 15 to 30 seconds. So the loser basically is paying some kind of forfeiture on having to do one of these cards. The game recommends that if you're playing with without adults, then take the star cards out. I have a better recommendation, take them all out. But, well, anyway, so that's the game in a nutshell. This game has a very similar feel to the game Are You the Traitor? They're both games where one person has to decide who the traitor is, and very fast, quick games. And since they're very comparable like that, this one, I'm sorry, doesn't make it. I played this game before without the game. We did something about dealing drugs, or the package has been delivered. Something like that, where there was a police officer. But the whole concept of winking at someone without them seeing it. Now, I won't deny that the idea of looking around, trying to see who's winking, everyone has to look at everyone else. You're not allowed to hide your eyes. Looking around and saying, okay, who's winking, who's winking. That could be fun. But you know what? It's fun for about 5 to 10 minutes after that gets boring. And these forfeit cards, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind silliness in a game, but the silliness has to be fun. These are more embarrassing, stupid things. I mean, I'm telling you, once you play this for a little bit, no one's going to want to play because no one's going to want to take these tests. But hey, the rules say you don't have to take a test if you don't want to. Instead, you can draw the next 2 and do both of those instead. Yay! Dumb. Sorry, this game just doesn't cut the mustard. I mean, I thought Are You the Traitor has been fairly much replaced by the Resistance anyway, but Eye for an Eye, just, it's not worth getting.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.